At the Edge of Time is a very epic and orchestral album, and I would say it combines all the qualities of what defines Blind Guardians. So it can be also seen as a sort of 60 minutes time-traveling journey throughout all our career. So there's a little bit of the early area, like in A Voice in the Dark, for example. It's almost thrash metal orientated song, but at the very end it even defines a little what we did on The Twist and the Myth, for example. Then we have a strong orchestral side on this album as well. That would be songs like Road of No Release or Wheel of Time or Sacred Words, which are very epic, do have some very classical moments. We even involved a real orchestra in the last two mentioned songs. Then we have I would say the more classical, medieval, acoustic Blind Guardian stuff, which can be heard on Curse My Name or on War of the Thrones, which do have a nice ear-catchy approach. And at the very last, we do have a song called Ride Into Obsession, which deals with one of my favorite lyrical issues for this album. That would be The Wheel of Time, written by Robert Jordan. And Ride Into Obsession can be also seen as a hybrid song. It does have a little bit of the Night at the Opera feeling, like in Soulforge, for example, but it also have the maidenish feeling that some of our old songs have had. And I believe the album in general will be a blast for everyone who has a little fable for Blind Guardian or good music in general. Yes, we did use a real orchestra in Wheel of Time and Sacred Worlds. That was a suggestion Charlie Bauerfeind has made. It's good for us to have that because that gives an idea to the listener what the orchestral album might sound like. Okay, there won't be any appearance of a metal band, which you have in Sacred Words and in A Wheel of Time. But in general, this is the direction we are choosing for this orchestral stuff. He was brought in by Charlie Bauerfeind, and he mainly created the scores for the orchestra based on what we have provided him with, especially in Sacred Words and A Wheel of Time. So he has had a very big share on these elements especially.
The production team, we didn't change that much. I mean, it was basically the same setup in our studio, but we learned from the first two albums we recorded in our studio. So this time we tried to work more with natural sounds, starting with the drums. That we said, okay, we don't want to use samples anymore because you really get bored of this. It takes out so much dynamic, and so we took a little bit more time for the drum sound check to create a real natural sound. The sounds are full from the frequencies. Like the rhythm guitar sound is really full and really strong. But there's even like this, there's enough space for the vocals, for the other melodies, and it's not like so compressed and sounds not over loud, because there's this range of dynamic, and that is awesome, and you only get this with natural sounds. I think that's the biggest change we did.
The quest was over when the quest for Tenelon was over, because the protagonists I was referring to in A Quest for Tenelon, they did have a chance visiting Tenelon. This time I relate again the lyrics to Elric of Melniboné. And as far as I remember, it's a long time ago when I read the story, he was refused to enter Tenelon. So he's crying for Tenelon, basically. But he's facing the end of the world because he's going to destroy everything, and that's what the lyrics are about. So from the lyrical point of view, this one is more related to Fast to Madness than to the quest for Tenelon. War of the Thrones is difficult because I've been inspired by songs of Ice and Fire by George R. R. Martin, and as well the Innkeeper song written by Peter S. Beagle for that particular song. I was considering it to be a song about Songs of Ice and Fire, but in the middle I changed my perspective and my idea about the whole song, and when I got back and read the beginning of the story, I felt, I could probably go into a freestyle direction, and that's what I did, because I've had that final line, leave the fee for the tillerman and the river behind, and I needed to interact with that one because it had such a nice sounding, and we decided, no, I cannot, use any other words there. So I had to come up with something more relying or relating to that one. So that's about War of the Thrones. Curse My Name is easier because that's inspired by John Milton's writing The Tenure of Kings and Magistrates, which is about the justification of a death penalty done or supposed to be done to Charles I think it was the first, Charles the First.
Yes, I like it very much. But I think it became better after the first add-on. In the beginning, there was maybe some bugs in there, and they released it a little bit too early. Maybe 6 more months, and it would be the perfect game. But now with the add-on, it's really awesome. I was impressed about the graphic style and the whole system. It's cool. I will play it during the tour because it's a offline game, and that's perfect for the tour bus.
We were hoping for something like that, but they were chasing for us, luckily. And EMP, our merchandising company, established the contact to the president of Ascaron, the computer company of Sacred 2. The guy was is a big Blind Guardian fan, and so it was not a big deal once we have agreed on doing the song. And they gave us free hand, and they just said, do whatever you want to do.
We even recorded some songs already with the real orchestra, but it's really a lot of work, and it was really difficult for us to find a setup to record it in a good way. We did test recordings some years ago with the White Russian Orchestra, and it didn't come out that good, so we had to skip that plan, and then Charlie found this Prague Orchestra, and so now with the new album with the songs Sacred Words and Wheel of Time, we had the chance to try out things already, and maybe give the fans already a little view how it could sound like if the band was not there. It will be lots of work when we are back from the tour, from the first part of the tour. We start immediately beginning of next year, and maybe write some new material for this one. And if everything works well, we are maybe done with everything in about 2 or 3 years.
Understanding, discipline, and
respect for each other.
This sort of spiritual brotherhood still.
And the same visions. We have the vision that we can reach something and to find maybe the absolute milestone album, which is something special in music history. We are still in the search for the new one comes close.
Yeah,
the new one is really did a big step, but I think we have the potential to do even better. One day. Hi, this is Andre.
And this is Hansi.
We are Blind Guardian.
You're watching Loud Vision.
Shine.